Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital, and I hope you're all doing great. Hope you're staying safe in this world as well. But welcome to this new video on XRP. Specifically, we're going to do a full update right here on XRP on the technicals, but obviously we need to touch upon the fundamentals as well. Right now, overnight, we had an escalation in the conflict between Israel and Iran by US involvement, and that has had pretty severe effects on the crypto markets. Now, it seems to me that yesterday we already had quite a lot of selling pressure with some decent volume as well across the markets. It seemed to me that certain things were already being seen by some smart money, which you see quite often, right? So that smart money already notices more things, or at least connect the dots more easily or more quickly. And we already saw some bearish pressure yesterday, and that resulted in a major spike down when we actually heard about the real news, when actual things were being done. So yeah, the situation right now is that XRP has dropped down lower. Yesterday I expected some recovery. But obviously, I mean, and that's also something I've always told you in my videos, this is a fundamentals market, right? So if we get news, if we get the fundamental developments, then that is going to change the trajectory of the technicals as well. So right now we're pretty much at a crossroads here for XRP, where with the bearish pressure, we have dropped down below the little value area low we had right here, right? So of the price action that XRP did from the end of May until basically yesterday. So we've dropped down below that, and that is, short term, that's not great because you want to stay within value. But ultimately, we can still see a recovery. We can still see a reclaim, especially since on the higher time frames. And for that, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can see on the daily time frame, we are still holding the value area low of this entire range right here from the beginning of December 2024 until right now, the end of June 2025. We're still holding that, right? And if you zoom in right here, what you can see is that XRP, after the opening today, has broken back into the value area of yesterday, and it's trying to hold that. And by far the most important level, and that's basically the price right now. That's also, I'm telling you, we're at a crossroads. The most important price right now is in my opinion, and I'm giving the price a little bit of a buffer zone here, but it's 2.06, right? So 2.06. That's in my opinion, that's where the value area low, that's Bitcoin. That's where the value area low is. That's where the value area of yesterday begins. And you want to see the price. If this was a bottom, like the volume is pretty good, right? I mean, we had a high volume spike down right here, and this looks like a real liquidation spike. And you can also see down here, we had some point of controls of the high volume candles at the bottom, and those were held. So those are all great signs of a technical bottom forming, but now we need confirmation. We need confirmation to hold 2.06, at least on the 30 minutes, 1 hour time frame. If that is the case technically, then I think we can not only establish stability, but then we can also establish a bullish reclaim here above 2.11. So that is technically what I think you have to watch over the course of today. And then I think the upside is very much capped at like 2.14, 2.16. I wouldn't expect too much technically, because ultimately what's really going to make the prices move across crypto, but also for XRP specifically, is fundamentals, right? And that's also, like I said, I mean, you want to keep an eye on that level at 2.06, but ultimately, or at least most likely, the reason why that's going to hold or not going to hold will depend on fundamental developments, right? If we see a further escalation, or at least if the market perceives what's going to happen as a further escalation, then XRP is easily going to drop down below 2.06 and drop down into 1.95 and $2 again. Where, my apologies, talking very loud this morning. Hopefully my neighbors don't mind. But if we see a de-escalation, then obviously we will be able to hold 2.06, right? So we're talking about the technicals here, and I'm giving you this guide on how to judge the technicals, and then based on that, form an opinion on the price. But the technicals itself are moved by fundamentals. So therefore, I also have no clear bias right now. I mean, I'm fairly optimistic usually, so maybe this is my bias, but like I said, that is also because of an inherent optimistic bias within me. So hopefully that still helps, right? But ultimately today is definitely not a day of taking positions, I'd say. So stay safe. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.